Hey there, friends. How's it going? My name is Justin, and no, that title is not clickbait. Yes, I will be talking about copyright strikes and pedophilia. Yeah, and how the two kind of tie in. You'd never think it, but at least this is from my perspective. This is my opinion. I kind of watch these two events unfold and become quite popular on Twitter and, of course, here on YouTube. You know, numerous people have covered both these topics. I'd like to hear what they had to say. And actually, since I first had the idea for this video, additional things have been kind of growing. And I'm not going to go into extreme detail on any of these different situations. I'm just going to kind of hit on key points here, very generally, very basically, give you the nutshell version, the very short story version, and we'll move on from there. And of course, talk about how these two subjects tie in together. And I have a couple solutions for YouTube specifically, and it probably could also work on Twitter as well. Well, not these solutions, but Twitter could also benefit from paying attention here. Not that they would. Let's be honest, they're not watching, or maybe they are. Who knows? Hi, Twitter people. Having said that, the different situations that are going on right now, have been going on for the last week or so, going into the third week now. So the situations that have been going on for the last couple weeks now, the situations have pretty much died down at this point, but they still need to be talked about. They still need to be, people need to be reminded that, hey, if you're going to do something like this, reconsider what you're going to say, how you're going to say it, because actions speak louder than words. I'll say it again for the people in the back.
Actions speak louder than words.
Okay. So I don't really know where to begin, so I'll begin from the very top. It seems back on the 11th of February on Twitter, Rich, who is also known as Tech Review USA, and Kyle and his alter ego Lyle from Bitwits, both received copyright strikes in regards to this whole The Verge Vox Media thing. These are the only two copyright strikes that at least I was made aware of. I'm sure that there were others, and they have been resolved just like these have. But The Verge, who is owned by Vox Media, did a video back in September, and they received a lot of backlash, especially from Tech Review USA and from Bitwits. The video was just an atrocity. Let's just leave it at that. It was supposedly a step-by-step instructional video on how to build a budget PC.
Some tweezers to tighten up the wires. Tweezers.
Don't follow those instructions. Please, for the love of God, do not waste your money. So because of the backlash, they eventually disabled comments on their video, and then as a follow-up to that, they just took the video down. But the damage had been done. People were made aware of this. This is supposedly a channel that, is all about tech and, accuracy and so on and so forth. These two channels did their respective videos. And that was kind of the end of it. Once the initial video was down, that people were talking about it still, but it wasn't as serious anymore. And eventually it just died down completely, and people kind of forgot about the video up until February 11th, when both Rich and Kyle both received copyright strikes regarding the initial budget PC video. The whole questioning situation part of this entire, whatever you want to call it, is that why did they wait 4 months? First and foremost, why are they claiming a copyright strike? Bitwits and Tech Review USA both. Bitwits did an actual video. Tech Review did a more or less a stream in regards to the video. Both of them played the video back, but then were pausing, explaining things, kind of breaking the video down and explaining why you wouldn't want to follow these instructions and the shortcomings of the video. It's not like they just re-uploaded the video and left it at that. They didn't leave it in its original format. So why the copyright strike? I'm pretty sure most of you know what fair use is, and what, if you reside here in the United States, you do YouTube or social media, and you're some form of creator of some kind, you know about U.S. copyright laws. I'm pretty sure the UK's got their own version, and Germany, and the rest of the EU, and Russia and China, they all have their own copyright laws. China is probably the worst in regards to that, but that's not the point here. The point is that they technically altered the original content. Therefore, the copyright strike automatically is null and void. Now, the reasoning that Vox Media gave as far as why they gave a strike in the first place was because in Rich's case, they felt that their rights had been infringed. And in Kyle's case, it was more or less, they felt that the character Lyle is racist. For those of you who do not know, Kyle is an Asian American. I don't know exactly where his ancestors came from, but he's Asian American, and his character Lyle speaks in a jokingly kind of poor English way on purpose.
Insertion pad! Those are vibration pads, so the power supply doesn't rattle around, make a lot of noise.
So having said that, I saw nothing wrong with either of their videos. I saw absolutely nothing wrong whatsoever. Now, I'm not in the tech industry. I'm more or less in the gaming industry. I love playing video games. I love recording it and then editing everything together and uploading it to YouTube to share with you guys. That's kind of what you're supposed to do with YouTube, right? Is sharing your experiences, or sharing your experiences, or sharing your knowledge, or sharing your opinion. That's what we do on YouTube and what we do on social media. That's kind of the point. So eventually, YouTube kind of played mediator, or referee, as Boogie298 put it.
Because I know a lot of people at YouTube, I've talked to a lot of people at YouTube about copyright, and they do not like to get involved. They only play referee. They try to make sure that corporations and copyright holders have options that they can then choose to use. But I would doubt very sincerely that YouTube sent you an email that says, this is absolutely not fair use, and we've decided to stand for you and protect you in a court of law. Absolutely not. In fact, YouTube has done quite the opposite. They have defended someone like Jim Sterling and his use of fair use when it comes to this exact kind of video. So I find it very highly suspect. And if it is true, then it's just one random person at YouTube who just doesn't know what YouTube is doing in general.
In regards to this whole situation, and the issue was resolved, but Vox Media specifically kept kind of hounding the issue. They kept saying, well, even though the issue has been resolved and it's in favor of the two creators, we still feel that their videos should be striked. And that's your opinion. You're allowed to have that. Perfect. Okay, just move on. Maybe you should really talk to The Verge and have a discussion with them and go, hey, I don't know, maybe review what you're putting on as a company, what you're putting on YouTube. This way, we don't run into this kind of incident again. You'll learn from it. You apologize, you forgive, you forget, everybody's happy. This next situation has to do with two different YouTubers. One is Just Destiny, a 20-year-old American with 1.7 million subscribers. The other is Lieutenant Cobra, a 15-year-old from the UK with, at the time of the situation, only had 2,000 subscribers. Now, the subscriber count really doesn't matter so much. It's, keep in mind their age and where they're located. Okay, just keep that in mind. Lieutenant Cobra started the situation off by doing a video on Just Destiny, and the controversial part was that he accused Just Destiny, actually quite rightfully, of being a pedophile.
Now, I'm not saying my content's original, however, Just Destiny is something else. Because not only just jumping on trend topics like the rest of us commentators do, his thumbnails are awful. I mean, just look at this one. Just a bit sketchy, that, isn't it? Now, originally, I didn't think Just Destiny was actually a paedophile, quotation mark, nonce. And I believe the only reason he did these types of thumbnails was for views and clicks. However, for him not even telling me that, nor even DMing me, I'm starting to think otherwise. I mean, why else would somebody just block someone instead of actually having a counter argument? It's not as if I jumped to conclusions or anything. I just stated the facts that were there.
I'm not going to go into extreme detail, but basically he was sexualizing minors, who technically are also sexualizing themselves for, I guess, for attention. They feel they can be Instagram models and, you know, be able to sell nudes on Snapchat or whatever, which is illegal, by the way, here in the United States. You know, even if you are 16 and you're age of consent, you're supposed to be 18 or older. That's the whole point of pornography. It's to make sure that nobody gets in trouble for yanking it looking at a 15-year-old. It's immoral, it's illegal. That's it. There's nothing else to it. Lieutenant Cobra accuses Just Destiny of being a pedophile. Now, Just Destiny, of course, had no knowledge of this kid prior to, but his friend saw the video and was like, hey, you might want to see this. Now, JD, of course, sees this and gets all butthurt about it.
He's butthurt.
So he strikes the video and also issues a cease and desist letter via his lawyer or legal team via email to Lieutenant Cobra. Now, Cobra is like, yo, what the fuck? Are you kidding me? So he takes a picture of with his phone, uploads it to Twitter. And this is at this point, this is kind of where I stepped in and started paying attention. Lieutenant Cobra catches the attention via other YouTubers in the commentary community here on YouTube, and eventually catches the attention of Mr. Killer Keemstar, Mr. Drama Alert himself. Keemstar, at some point, gets a hold of JD and basically does like a little bit of an interview.
Never heard of this kid before until he made this video, basically spreading rumors, insinuating that I'm some kind of a nonce or sexual predator or pedo. So he made this video, I believe, 2 weeks ago, sometime in late January.
And how did he come to this conclusion?
Based on what I seen from the video, he pulled clips, titles, and thumbnails from my channel.
And the whole gist of it was, dude, are you a fucking pedophile? And he ignored the question. Not only did he ignore the question from Keem, but Cobra also tried to catch his attention on Twitter. He also tried to catch his attention on a live stream, and he never wanted to answer anybody. Which, when you deny something like that by not saying yes or no, everybody's automatically going to assume that you are. Now, he did another video after that whole debacle called Mom Mentality, in which he talked to his fans about all these accusations and everything. Again, still not denying it, by the way, but just talked about how, oh, well, you know, when somebody accuses somebody else of being, you know, X, Y, or Z, you know, of course, everybody, you know, is going to side with them and automatically assume the worst in everybody. Well,
No fucking shit.
and basically had his fans attack Lieutenant Cobra on numerous different videos and via Twitter and so on and so forth. Now, mind you, JD wanted to sue Cobra for releasing that video. He striked the video, okay? Which means that if he was eligible for the monetization, which he had the subscriber rate, I don't know about the hours watched. I'm pretty sure he had at least the 4,000 hours, which means he could be enabling monetization. Any ad revenue he would have received from that video, done. So, of course, they have a little bit more of a back and forth on Twitter. He continues to say, you know, all these accusations. He starts demeaning other people who aren't necessarily involved with Cobra, that maybe are involved with people like Combat Wombat or, you know, whoever else at that point in time, the real BWC, Mr. Black Wolf Company himself. If you're not going to come out and say, I'm sorry for striking your video, I'm sorry for sending you that email, which he may not forgive you, but he can at least accept your apology. You know what I mean? Like, he'll at least listen to you, because he's not a dumbass. He's a very smart kid, especially at 15 years old, picking up on the fact that a 20-year-old could potentially be a pedophile. You got to give him some credit, man. You got to give him some credit. And as far as I'm aware, before recording, I was on Twitter. I haven't seen anything from JD whatsoever, or even here on YouTube, in regards to any form of denial or apology. Now, this is kind of where the two kind of cross paths, is because Cobra accused him of being a pedophile, and the supposed pedophile kind of struck him. Now, the problem that I have with either of these situations, let's talk about copyright strikes first. When you copyright strike somebody, you are going under oath to YouTube saying that they stole content, that they stole your idea, or they stole content or whatever. You've seen it numerous times in the past. He striked them because he felt slandered, which is not a legal reason for anybody, regardless of their stature or their influence or their reach, to strike somebody else, regardless. Okay? We're not even going to talk about pedophile at the moment. Let's focus more on this whole strike issue. Most recently, there was another person I saw, Smelly Octopus, funny name by the way, very funny name, who got copyright striked from their voice. I'm going to play a small clip for you here. Like, who does that? Who strikes somebody just because of their voice? Out of the billions of people that are here on this planet, when two individuals who don't know each other, okay, when two individuals speak, the likelihood of those two sounding at least somewhat similar is going to be a little bit higher than that person with somebody else or somebody else or somebody else. There's not billions of unique voices out there. Unfortunately, the probability of multiple people sounding very similar, or the same at least, is going to be a lot higher than two people looking similar, or having the same exact haircut, or the same distance between their eyes or their nose or their ears, so on and so forth. Voices sound like it's going to be a little bit more common for two people to sound similar enough because of ancestry and so on and so forth, where your ancestors came from, versus your genes, your genetic code determining the distance of eyes, your ears, how long your ears, how long your earlobes, what your breath smells like, a million different things, So when it comes to copyright strikes, I think that YouTube should either restructure this whole copyright strike system. When you go to make a claim, the way it should be handled, not only from party A and party B, but also on YouTube's part as well. This is where they really benefit. My solution is that YouTube should rip Content ID right out of the roots, replace it with something a hell of a lot better, and a system that's very similar to like a call center, let's say, where they hire anywhere from a few hundred to up to a couple thousand people. Doesn't have to be like 20, 30, 50,000 people or anything like that. I'd say up to like maybe 5,000 people, and have them literally go case by case by case, investigate both party A and party B's claims as far as the content is concerned, see when the original video was uploaded, review both the original video and the video in question, and make a determination on whether it's part of fair use or does it violate copyright laws. I'm just saying. Now, the more drastic and a lot more radical would be for somebody who's got, I don't know, 80 million subscribers, or has a fuck ton of money to create a YouTube clone, in a sense, change a lot of things obviously so you don't violate copyright laws, and just have all of us move over to that platform and say fuck YouTube. Like I said, very drastic. I don't personally want to leave YouTube. I've been looking at YouTube videos since 2005. I don't think that we should all have to leave YouTube, but if YouTube's not willing to really play referee here, and not just a case, a couple hand-selected cases every once in a while, you know, instead of really looking into the real problem of, you know, things like, you know, slander over here. I think that might be the only option we're left with if YouTube is not going to step in. Now, as far as the pedophilia thing, originally what I was going to say a couple days ago when I was planning this video out was that there was a situation here on YouTube and on Twitter specifically, because those are the two platforms I use the most now. There was a situation where this guy, son of a couple days ago, at least like 2 or 3 days ago, where Keemstar, again, #1 news for drama. This guy, Matt What It Is his Twitter handle, and his YouTube channel. I think his name is Matt Watson. Basically was doing some very weird, awkward, creepy, and quite dramatic things here on YouTube that is very questionable as far as YouTube's policy with their advertisers. You know, the companies that you see before clicking on certain videos. You know, you have the option of waiting 5 seconds and skipping the ad, or it's just a 5 to 6 second long ad in the first place. Up to 10 seconds, I think, is the most I've seen so far. But you know, when it comes to situations like this guy does a lot of weird stuff. You know, it looked like he was, you know, jerking off, you know, supposedly, when, you know, not paying attention to the camera. He's got a blow up doll in the background in one of his videos. You know, he's really trying to create an adpocalypse. He's trying to, you know, do a lot of strange, awkward, and borderline illegal things on YouTube to make advertisers go away. And it's all because of Reddit. You know, this guy has a subreddit, and, you know, people upvote things that he should do, and so on, and other people should do. It's not strictly limited to him. There are others like him. Now, YouTube's response, because a lot of people notified you know, YouTube of this. Just trying to scroll to find what they said. Now, YouTube did have a response into channels like this that were either leaving comments or uploading videos such as this. And YouTube's response is, "We appreciate you, Keem, raising awareness of this with your fans. We appreciate you raising awareness of this with your fans, and that you realize all of us at YouTube are working incredibly hard to root out horrible behavior on our platform. By way of an update, in the last 48 hours, beyond our normal protections, we've disabled comments on tens of millions of videos. We've also terminated over 400 channels for the comments they left on videos and reported illegal comments to law enforcement. There is more to be done, and we are continuing to grow our team in order to keep people safe." That response right there was something I was not really expecting when I, again, had the original idea for this video. So all of my notes as far as that solution I presented a little while ago, it might actually be coming true. Maybe not necessarily that to 100% certainty, but it may be even a variation of that. Maybe they're actually going to hire people who live monitor random videos that the system chooses or has flagged for potential, you know, copyright issues, or at least includes copyrighted content. I think something like that would definitely work out, especially for YouTube's algorithms, especially for getting noticed, or, you know, discovery, so on and so forth, notifying. You know, this way, before people get notified, the video is still in the upload section when you're uploading. You know, it's actually still, you know, physically uploading to YouTube. I think that at that point in time, before it finally goes live, there's a period of maybe 15 to 20 minutes, up to a half hour, for, depending on the length of the video, for YouTube's team to go ahead and just review the footage, just to make sure if it is flagged for copyright or, you know, anything like that, to prevent future situations like anything I've mentioned from ever happening and being seen by the public eye. Not necessarily a form of control by the government, man. No, I'm talking about like real hardcore protection of YouTube, protection of its creators, and protection of people who just want to comment on your videos and engage with you. Because ultimately, although you may think people like PewDiePie are celebrities, and to some degree they are because of their stature, but just because he's got 80+ million subscribers doesn't mean that he's just a normal dude like you and I, man. He likes food, he likes certain kinds of drinks, he likes certain TV shows, I'm sure, obviously video games. You know, you can't allow the platform to completely suffer unless the platform is going to give up on its users. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, I'm going to wrap the video up here. So I'm going to go ahead and roll something I have yet to unveil, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Let me know what you thought about everything I've mentioned here in the comment section below, or just bits and pieces. If you simply just want to give a thumbs up, that's fine too, or a thumbs down. Hey, you know, it's not necessarily the, you know, breaking video of the year or anything like that. You know, just let me know what you think, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Hey guys, it's Justin again. I just want to thank you very much for watching the video, and be sure to go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already done so, and of course that little bell thing to get notified of when I upload a new video, and of course when I go live here on YouTube. Be sure to also check me out on Twitter and Instagram, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.